position. On the camera again, leading us to glory.
Yeah, we've got Arce here as well. It's good to be with you again, mate. It's been a week and a half.
So it's always a pleasure to work with you, Steve. We somehow always get these good games.
And this is exactly that. This is one of them. The teams are going to put 4 central midfielders in each. And it's going to be, UFC. It's going to go a lot longer than what UFC went for this morning.
Oh.
But it's going to be equally as much of a slugfest. So we hope you enjoy it. Because we know we will.
They got the pork knuckle here, yeah? Or is that Dandy City?
I
know they got the chivapi here.
Yeah, there was a couple of gentlemen getting some fancy traditional dishes in the bowl. I don't know what they were. They weren't pork knuckles.
Yeah, so Victory's done that before, where they've started recruiting old men, and then they wonder why City have such a good talent program, you know, and they actually make money out of those players. And then in order for them to get good players, they help to send down Western United to take their talented players into their squad, and then, you know, we'll have another exciting war fest of an A-League season coming up, I'm sure.
Help us level the playing field. Sign the parliamentary petition today to fuel the growth and fund the game.
Hello and welcome. Sunday afternoon football coming your way in round 20 of the Senol NPL Victoria men's competition. It's a Western Suburbs derby. St Albans and Caroline Springs George Cross reacquainting themselves this season in league football after an 8-year break. In the meeting back in March, it was George who tasted victory through a Lucas Burns match winner. Will we see some derby drama today? An impressive display from Cam Watson's Dynamo last week, earning a point at Olympic Village against Heidelberg, which has them sitting 6 points clear of the drop zone. More points today would go closer to confirming top-flight football at Fox Street for next season. Eric Vasiliadis was impressed with his charges, holding the league leaders Oakley at Fraser Rise last week. A Josh Whiteley strike enough to see Georgie stay within 5 points of the top 6. More heroics from the promoted side would strengthen their hopes of a surprise final berth. Thanks for your company on the broadcast on a wild and woolly day in the West. I'm Steve Curtin, and I'm fortunate enough to be joined by Alex Sivkorowski. Good afternoon, Archie.
Good afternoon, Steve. Good afternoon, viewers. What a day this is for sporting fanatics out there. You would have had the World Cup, the UFC, and you finish it off with the Victorian football, the universe, football of the universe as they call it, in the centre of the universe. What a game this is. It's been a long time coming, Steve. George Cross hasn't played at Churchill Reserve. We have to go back almost 2018 when they last played each other. So quite a number of years. But the last win, you have to go back to August the 21st, 2016, when George Cross won 1-0. So it's a long time between drinks for the Georges, but they'll obviously be up for this game, as both sides are. Very important for both sides. Both sides want to get out of that relegation battle. Dynamo a lot closer to it, but a win here for they gives them a bit of a space there. But for Georges, a win for them keeps them within touching distance of South Melbourne, who are on 31 points, and George Cross at 29, if they win today, Steve.
That's right, it would see them very close. Let's take a look at the lineups. There's a change for each side. For St Albans, Marco Bullich keeps his place in goal. The back four is unchanged. Michael Martinovic, Aaron Anderson, Fletcher McFarlane and Lockie Weir. There's a change in midfield with Anthony Leban coming in, returning from suspension to join Atushi Inoue and Joseph Cholina. The front three, Nicholas Cook, the top scorer, Mikael Platt and Josh Galevsky moves out to the wing. Joey Monek drops to the bench, and there's one change for Caroline Springs, George Cross. Alex? Yeah,
absolutely. Hassan Jallo retains his spot, and Jakub Mustafa, so interesting to see there. Luke Lofts going to the bench, but Justin Spiteri returns from suspension, as well as Aidan Musadanigic, who's been out for a number of weeks for injury, so good to see him back on the bench. And kickoff is almost underway here, Steve.
Just about ready to go. Our man in the middle today, Momcilo Veselinov, and he's assisted by the assistant referees today, Stephen Raslog, Geordie Walton, and our fourth official right in front of us is the financial consultant from Geelong. It's Noah Langerak. So we're just about ready for kickoff, both sides in their home kits. And it's going to be Georgie's getting us underway in the red and white stripes. They're going to be playing to the left of your screen at home, and Dynamo in their all blue playing to the right of your screen here, as that one runs all the way through to Christian Siciliano, who celebrated a birthday yesterday, 23 years of age, the former Melbourne Victory goalkeeper. So many happy returns to Christian on his birthday yesterday. He'll be hoping to bag the 3 points and keep the celebrations going today, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll be looking to enjoy a few drinks if they can get across the line this evening. So it'll definitely be one to remember. But yeah, a bit tough for Georges. They will be facing the winners, it's Nicholas Cook into play. Martinovic overlapping here. It's a good cross in. Cleared that time by Michael Zoutsidis. And a chance for Dynamo to reset.
Let's take a look at those substitutes for you. Those substitutes for you for Dynamo, it's the defensive option of Ajak Dayu. Joey Monek, as we mentioned, dropped to the bench after getting the assist last week. Also, Jerome Sharan, who's featured in all 19 games so far, often off the bench. The youngster Alex Seferovsky, Christian Rossi, the sub-keeper, and the youngster with 4 goals in the under-23s. He's made a couple of appearances off the bench, is Cruz Borg.
Yeah, he's been really good, Cruz Borg. Impressed, obviously, Cam Watson in the side, so he's given a chance to play in the seniors. So that's great to see Cam Watson giving the youth a chance, and being in a senior environment is obviously going to help him with his game, as we've got Galevsky now coming into the middle of the park. It's Galevsky. Bounce there just before Siciliano, not out of trouble, There's Mikael Platt trying to get away from the red and white shirts, and it'll be a George Cross throw there deep at right back.
Well, we've seen so many goals in the World Cup, Alex, from shots outside the box and the keeper parrying in the round of 16. And, well, Siciliano was able to parry that one, but didn't fall to anyone in a blue shirt. So that was good fortune that time for George as they try and get the ball up into the Dinamo half. It's been a bright start by Dinamo in the opening minutes so far. Whiteley, the goal scorer last week. Hard to believe it was his first league goal in the top flight for George's that he scored last week. For Josh Whiteley, he scored 14 in the second tier in the league last year, so it would have felt like a long time coming. He had scored 3 in the cup, but his first goal was a timely one and a handy one that ensured that they got a share of the points against the league leaders, the Oakley Cannons. Those subs for Caroline Springs, George Cross, Jordan Tucker, Justin Spiteri, Hayden Mustadinagic, Luke Lofts, Jonathan Alvarez, and the sub-keeper Casper Fonsboll. Another keeper coming from the Melbourne Victory family, same as Christian Siciliano. Wind picking up here. It's around 13 degrees at kickoff. The feels like we're sitting down at 11, but we've got the shade cloth on the side here, Alex, to give us a tiny bit of protection from that breeze, although it is a little bit hard to see through.
Yeah, as long as it keeps out the rain, Steve, I'm sure the equipment and us will be very happy with that, as George is now obviously looking to go the long throw in front of the Dinamo Hill. The fans out. It's brought down by Aaron Anderson. And that time, Nicholas Cook unable to get on the end of it. Can you believe, Steve, we've only got 6 more games to go after today's match. The season has gone very quick.
Yeah, it feels strange saying round 20 in the intro, but that's where we find ourselves. These sides looking to build on their, both of them picking up a point last week against more fancied opposition. Lockie Weir, Golevsky. That was his crucial goal at Olympic Village last week that saw that one end all square. So good record against Heidelberg again this year for Dinamo, getting the win back here. You were calling that game back in March when they met the league, or the reigning champions back then, and they went away and got a draw on Friday night of last week. That was an interesting throw-in.
Well, it happens to the best of them. That time, I'm sure Bernardo would definitely look back at that one and hope his teammates can forget it, as cleared away there by Fletcher McFarlane. We had him as number 27. He's wearing number 5, so...
Yeah, it seems like when they're at home, he wears the 5, and when they're on the road, he wears, I think, 17 he wore last week. So just keeping us on our toes there, Fletcher McFarlane. They might be missing the number 5 shirt in the away kit is what is the case I fancy, which is, reminds you of your younger days playing junior football. Maybe missing a shirt short. Someone kept it from last season or something.
Probably got hidden away, just making us commentators just think twice about the numbers, but luckily we know him quite well. It's a good opportunity here, Steve, for Dinamo today. If they win, they go obviously up to 25 points, which will give them a little bit of breathing space from obviously the bottom 3, but more importantly, still within touching distance to make the top 6, as Cook trying to lead his way through. He shots blocked by Zoutsidis. Whiteley, and it's going to be called back for a free kick there as Nicholas Cook. But yeah, it's a big opportunity for Dinamo. If they can get a win here, put some just in the mix to maybe slightly play finals football.
It's that time of the year where you start to see a few surprise results happening as well. This one, the final fixture of the round. Wins already for Altona Magic over Green Gully and South Melbourne over Dandenong City. Both of those wins on the road on Friday night. Oakley Cannons were home winners against Avondale, 2-0. As were Preston Lions, also home winners, 2-1 against Hume City. That was a big clash. And the matches yesterday, points shared down at Casey, Melbourne City and Heidelberg United, 2-2. And a win for Dandy Thunder over the Bentley Greens. Dandy Thunder have been in a bit of a mire of lately, so congratulations to everyone out there on sticking together and getting the 3 points over the Bentley Greens, but both of those sides with a bit of work to do to try and wrestle their way to some kind of hopes of survival for next season.
Also against their former coach, which would have probably given them just a little bit of a extra spring in their step.
Oh, definitely some extra ammunition there for the Dandy Thunder boys last week. Those of which who were still there from Adam Piddick's reign. So many of them departing. Here's Marco Bullich. He's in the all yellow today. He's going to launch this one up the park. So the wind is definitely favouring the right of your screen as you see it at home. So Dynamo playing with the breeze behind their backs. It's a slight diagonal, so it'll be favouring the right of the screen and slightly towards this broadcast side. There's an enthusiastic but modest crowd here. I wonder if fans, we mentioned it's a feast of sport today on your Sunday this morning and this afternoon as well, with 2 World Cup quarterfinals going on. You've been watching the UFC as well, Archie. So there's been a feast of something. Maybe a little bit fatigued. They're staying home watching this one on the live stream. So we hope you're enjoying it. If that's you, here's Marzi. Martinovic does just enough. It's going to be a good duel this afternoon. Down the left-hand side for Georgie's Leo Marzi, who's been in good form lately, coming up against Michael Martinovic, who had a pretty good game against Heidelberg last week himself.
Yeah, he's definitely a player that definitely steps up for the big moments, and Leo Marzi's be looking towards adding to his goal tally this afternoon. He hasn't scored in the last 2 games, 10th for the season. And across from Marzi's, puts it into the mixer, comes back out anew, clears. Cook and Vasiliadis. Coming back to help is Jakub Mustafa. So no mid-season transfers for Dynamo, Steve. Usually the last 2 years they've brought in 1 or 2 players, but this season kept it low profile.
Yeah, and they're relying on some of these youngsters. We mentioned Kruzborg, who's become a bit of a regular as one of their options off the bench. Last week they also used the youngster Abdul Malik Sally as well. So rather than try and bolster the squad, they're just sort of relying on what they've got. They've missed a few players through suspension and yellow card accumulation in recent weeks. This is a nervy moment here. Martinovic's header eventually gets back to Marco Bullich. Leo Marzi was lurking. Marzi lining up on the left flank today. It looks like Josh Whiteley's playing through the middle as the number 10 behind Hassan Jallo. When you talk about mid-season recruits, well, Hassan Jallo and Jack Pope, really good profile of player for Georges to be picking up this time of year to add a bit of depth to their front four.
Yeah, absolutely.
And midfield, sorry.
Yeah, Jack Pope last week, he was instrumental in that midfield. I think that's something that George Cross really lacked over the first half of the season. Just someone who's able to be that general and make sure. And his chasing game, he just ran, and everywhere Oakley looked, he was there. Hassan Jallo, we know, he hasn't had the best of seasons, 4 goals for Dandy Thunder, but he just brings that presence up top that maybe sometimes it lacks for George Cross. So both we were looking to impress, but good inclusions nevertheless, as again try to put it through the middle as Zoutsiidis can clear, and Whiteley. Marzi's happy to go back to Vasiliadis, who bobbles it up down the line, and that one's just going to go out in front of us as Cam Watson didn't want to show off his skills this afternoon so far.
Would have been good to see Cam get a nice first touch on the sidelines there.
To show the boys what he's capable of in his playing days.
I'm sure he's still got it. That one runs out of play in front of Mikael Platt. It's a bit of a fluid front three for Dynamo this afternoon. Seems like Nicholas Cook is primarily playing as the right winger. Josh Gillespie played as the 10 last week. He's drifted out to that left-hand side, which was where Cook lined up last week. And Mikael Platt in the starting 11 for consecutive weeks, playing through the middle. Atsushi Inoue played a good match in the deeper lying midfield role. Looks like he's been moved forward into the 10 so that they can play with that midfield of Leban and Cholina. Outside of the football by Marzi into the breeze, but it didn't hold up for the oncoming Georgie's players, including Hassan Jallo and Jack Pope. Jack Pope, a really good all-round midfield option. He hasn't seen a lot of the action in the NPL Victoria this particular campaign at his former club, South Melbourne. Just 6 appearances and the 1 goal, but he did play a lot of games in the OFC Pro League. 12 appearances in that competition with a goal and an assist on their far-flung adventures to places much warmer than where we find ourselves this afternoon.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea if they could bring that weather back with them, but nevertheless, it's obviously a good opportunity, and valuable experience to George Cross as well. They're a very young side. They might have a couple of players who've played in the top tier of NPL, but adding that depth of Jack Pope in there just makes a difference. Oh, strong challenge there, and it will be another free kick here for George Cross on the far side.
Niue really getting into the back of his opponent. He's one of the St Albans players who's been sent off earlier in the season. Bit of an altercation here against one of his countrymen. He said St Albans have had a few players with that yellow card accumulation. Lockie Weir and Michael Martinovic both on 4 yellow cards. A fifth one would equal a suspension for either of the fullbacks there. As the ball comes in, players going down off the ball. McFarlane won the header initially. Oh, big contact on Bullich, which occurred right in that 6-yard box, and Momcilo Veselinov is just going to try and restore a bit of order here.
It was a weird decision there. Aaron Anderson was in front of the ball. You thought you would have cleared, but he's obviously left it to Bullich. But Otman Bernardo obviously just stuck out a leg. And Dinamo didn't appreciate that one. But good refereeing there. Just calm things down. Trying to, not let it blow out. So good to see referees doing a great job. As Bullich taking his time to bring it in. Eventually gets us back underway. Free header for Maker. Cook. And just getting tangled there, sorry, Anthony Laban. Inui out to Laban. He's been a good inclusion for Dinamo Steve since coming across from Paul Melbourne. He's settled their midfield a lot. He's allowed, obviously, the likes of Chelina to play his game and does the defensive duties quite well.
Yeah, really good pickup. Adds a lot of depth. He's good defensively, but he can thread a quality ball diagonal up the park. He can control the tempo as we see him in here in possession. Now Martinovic has got space for the cross. He gets it in. It bounced in the 6-yard box. It's an awkward one away by Yagub Mustafa. It's going to sit for Laban. It's blocked by Soutsides. And again, it sits for Weir. At full stretch was Siciliano. And he's tipped it around the post for a corner. Nervy moments here for George Cross. But Dinamo finding a bit of style here, and they're going to take the corner kick over from near the players' race.
Yeah, great save there from Siciliano through a sea of legs. It copped a deflection. He still managed to get to it. So George Cross breathed a sigh of relief, but they're not out of trouble. They've still got a corner to ensure that they clear up. Big moment in the game here for Dinamo. Can they get it across the line here? A lot of players around that 6-yard box, so definitely make it hard for Siciliano to try to get out there. Momcilo is just making sure there's no need for some pushing and shoving. Cross comes in, looking for the back post, and the wind just takes it over for a goal kick.
Yeah, they were really crowding Christian Siciliano in that goal mouth there were the St Albans players. Hard to judge the weight of those crosses in that breeze this afternoon. That one with too much on it. There was no one at the back post out the back to bring that one down or play it back across the goal. So Christian Siciliano can take his time over the restart here. We hope you're enjoying this one. It's a cool afternoon. It's a strong breeze blowing across the ground. It's 13 degrees. The feels like is 11, so we're rugged up here. You've got something warm, got a warm blanket over your lap there on the couch this afternoon and enjoying this one. Steve Curtin and Alex Zivkorowski to talk you through the final game of the Senol NPL Victoria men's competition for round 20. Marko Bullich in possession, and they're going to try and bring it forward here. Dinamo through Anderson. Pope got a foot in to close down the passing lane. Oh, Siciliano, a nervous moment there, trying to play out from the back, and Mikael Platter got a touch, but fortunately for Georges, it didn't break for the St Albans striker. Dibb's first time pass is aimed at no one in particular. It's going to stay in play, is it, for Lockie Witt? Now he's going to escort it over the touchline in front of that boutique grandstand that we see over there. That's the one where I saw some pigeons living in there earlier in the season, Alex.
I'm sure they'll be not looking to come out today. Want to keep it warm. And that's something that the keepers here will need to adjust. Obviously, when they're going to the right of screen, it's fine, the ball carries, but when they're going to the left of screen, it's definitely hard. They have to keep it low. You don't want too much wind to take it off, as that time Bernardiu just gets his shot blocked by Platt. Gillespie trying to get a leg in. Miguel Platt just uses his body to his advantage. Good work by Mustafa, coming away from it. Going wide to Whiteley now, Englishman. Looking to take on Martinovic. Cross comes in, looking for the back post. It's Pope! And he's gone wide there. Big opportunity for George Cross and Jack Pope to be up 1-0.
Good play by Josh Whiteley. Dropped the shoulder, past his defender. Got onto that strong left boot, and he just dinked the cross to Pope at the back post, who had time to do more than what he ended up executing there. It's a pinpoint cross, and he had so much space in the box, and Albans leaving the midfielder unmarked. But that's the strength of Pope, making those runs into the box, and St Albans have got to be alert to that and not allow that to happen again, because if they do allow that to be repeated, I fancy that Georgies will be taking the lead in this one next time. Well played by Josh Whiteley. Here's Benadou out in front of the St Albans social rooms. Touched by Liban. It runs through to McFarlane. Playing it up the line, looking for Gulevski, last week's goal scorer. Here's Maker. Sutsides. It's a good idea to pick out Whiteley. Martinovic held his ground really well. Good balance, and he's got support in the shape of Aaron Anderson. He can just dink it up the line. Nicholas Cook. That's good control from him, and he can turn and take on this Georgie's defence. Vasiliadis got a foot in, did really well, and it breaks for Yagub Mustafa. So against the breeze here, Georgie's doing a bit of attacking. Mustafa, still he goes. McFarlane tried to make the challenge, but it ricocheted back to him. It's a bit scruffy out there at the moment, Alex. It's a heavy track, a lot of rain last night around 6:30, falling across Melbourne, a bit of a storm coming across. And as we watch the players warming up, you can see it was very heavy underfoot.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those pitches that it did get relayed in earlier on in the season, but the chance now for Whiteley goes wide to Marzies. Low cross into the box. Cleared by Dinamore. Cook. Oh, just mistimed the bounce there, and I think the wind just also causing havoc. So both teams just adjusting to the ground and the conditions as well. Marzies, he got out of trouble there. As Whiteley to his left, cuts back in. Still going. Probably should have laid it off there. Leo Marzies has chance now for Laban. Cut off by Zootseed, still going forward. Skips two challenges out to Whiteley now. Low cross. Zootseed shoots. Takes a deflection. And it just falls in the lap of Bullich there.
Well, how was Michael Zootseed there, stepping out of the defensive line like prime Cesar Zampano for Brazil. Joga Benito there from an unlikely figure in the Georgies' central defence. I saw him, he took on a shot last week from long range. Didn't quite trouble the Oakley goalkeeper that time, and well, that one there could have almost turned into something for Georgies. Really good reading of the play by Michael Zootseed, and he wins the header again here. Good first touch by Martinovic in the white boots. Shepping it out of play was Nicholas Dibb. So as we say, conditions are a little bit more tricky than it might look on the surface out there. A difficult breeze that's coming and going, blowing across the park, and it's very sticky underfoot. You can see the pitch cutting up as the players are running across it. Hopefully it doesn't look like it's been the scene of a tractor pull by full time as far as the groundsman's concerned here. That's a good ball by Anderson. Just about picked out where he did. He was clattered into, and we're going to have a break in play here.
Yeah, I'm in Bernardo there, just tangling both in mid-air, so hopefully they're both okay. It gives us a chance to just have a fresh look and allow the medics to just check them both out, but it gives a chance for both coaches to have a chat to their charges and just get a few instructions into them. But yeah, it's been an opportunity for Georgie's. 2 good chances in the game. Just haven't been able to put it past Bullich or on target, at least force a save, but promising signs there. But we can just hear Cam Watson here having a chat to Mikael Platt and his assistants, just saying, got to make the runs. And I think they're not utilising that wind a lot. You know, they're really just not controlling that middle park. And you can see, as you mentioned, Steve, it's starting to get cut up. If you look at the goal lines on both sides, it's very dug in deep there. So that's why both teams are looking to cross it into that hot spot, hoping someone makes a slip there and able to pinch it in. But good to see both players are back on their feet.
Yeah, it was a big collision with Weir and Benadou, but looks like they're both going to get the all clear. Yep, they're both back on the park. No requirement to wait for 60 seconds. The rule that's been brought in for the World Cup over in North America at the moment. Here's Maker. Benadou, that's just going to hang in the air. Header by Laban was out in front of Mikael Platt. He couldn't make the most of it. We saw in that breaking play, Mikael Platt and Nicholas Cook getting some instructions from the Dynamo assistant coaches, Ian Burke and Blurton Bellizzo as well. So just reiterating that plan for that front three, keep that interchange of position, try and keep the Georgies defence, who's been very good this season in their promoted year. They've conceded just the 26 goals and they're in possession going forward here. Yagub Mustafa. Anderson got an important touch. It breaks for the mid-season signing Hassan Jello. And here's Whiteley. He's going to look to get under that favoured left foot, and he hangs it up the cross. Getting to the back post was Mustafa. He couldn't judge the header in the breezy conditions. Maker, as the rain starts to fall here at Churchill Reserve. This is Marzi, who's drifted across to the far side, and Bullich was quick to react. Hassan Jello might have got a touch on that cross, you fancy, and it just came at a good height for Marko Bullich, who kept his centre of gravity nice and low. And Joey Cholin is just limping away from that previous phase of play. He's going to be okay to continue, but it just looked like a painful one for the Dynamo captain.
There's a big chance here for, it looks like, Ottman and Ardu, who just managed to get a good, clean chance there, but Bullich, as you said, Steve, got down low in the centre of gravity, so that's another missed opportunity for George Cross here. We've played almost 25 odd minutes.
I think it was good keeping by Bullich. It was harder than it looked, I think.
Yeah. And that's a credit to him. And Dynamo, they've really worked hard on that part of their game. As trying to go forward as Laban now through the middle, but Zoutsidis, as you said, Steve, he's just might have to play a midfield role that the way he's driving forward. Laban again with a bit of space, looks to go wide. Another opportunity now for Cook. He just gets it under control, has Martinovic, goes to him. They reset Laban. He just, not sure if he got enough purchase on that, but he's hit it straight into the car park.
Well, you can see what he was trying to do there, Anthony Laban. It's definitely that kind of day where players might need to take that extra touch. The first time ball's just not going to come off with the state of the pitch and these breezy conditions. The wind that keeps on increasing and decreasing. Almost at random. We hope you're enjoying the contest. It is a bit of a slugfest so far, but there's going to be a moment of brilliance you fancy at any moment that might separate these two sides in this Western Suburbs derby here at Fox Street. 0-0 between St Albans and Caroline Springs George Cross. Steve Curtin and Alex Zivkorowski with you this afternoon. Good ball out by Bullich, and now Leban. Cholina under real pressure from Maker, who stepped out of his defensive line. Benadou. Leban wrestling for it. Benadou brings him down. Will he go into the book for that one? Momcillo is going to save himself the paperwork, I think.
It was probably a bit unlucky there for George Cross because they did have a foul just about a second before that. And then unfortunately, Penadu there, just the last person to make a tackle. There's another ball over the top for Cook, and again that wind just taking that ball a little bit too far. So, as you mentioned, Steve, both sides really just not able to adjust the ground conditions as well as the weather conditions at the moment. And that's something as if either side can get control of, you feel like they're the ones that are going to take the lead. And that's something that's important for both these sides is who can get the first goal. You probably feel like that might be enough just in this game.
Yeah, certainly going to change the game state. Notice for Georgie's, Leo Marzi's dropped into the number 10 role rather than playing out on the flank. So Georgie's also exchanging positions in the front four. Hassan Jallo continues to be the man that occupies the central defenders. He's being closely watched by Aaron Anderson, and right up on that last line of the St Albans defence is Hassan Jallo, just lurking on that offside line, looking to make those runs in behind. Anderson, it just about set up okay for him. Lockie Weir. Cholina. Weir's going to send it down the line, and it won't stay in for Josh Gulewski. It's been a frustrating start to this one for Josh Gulewski. Played a really good performance last week in that number 10 role, and playing out on the flanks here. It's a narrower pitch. There's not a lot of room when you get the ball in possession, and you can be closed down quickly. Sometimes that touchline can be like an extra defender against you.
Yeah, you're definitely right, Steve. I feel like he's a lot better in the midfield. He's allowed to be a bit more creative, as a bit more time on the ball as Dinamo go forward, and it's going to go straight to Siciliano. And you know, that's the type of player he's putting the team first, trying to do his bit, trying to get him going as Vasiliadis goes up the line. It's going to get held up in the wind, and good work there by Aaron Anderson. Eric Vasiliadis not too happy, but
haven't heard him so far this afternoon. He's definitely found voice as we head towards the half-hour mark here.
Chance for Josh Whiteley to bring it in. They go the long throat. Anderson clears. Nui got a little touch. Vasiliadis. Pope got 3 blue shirts. Oh, lovely work from Pope. Still going forward, and eventually gets brought down by Michael Martinovic there.
Well, it's that individual brilliance there that might separate these two sides. It is a real slugfest out there, but Jack Pope turning on the style there. A little 360 turn, skip past the man, drawing the foul, and a really good opportunity here with Leo Marzi standing over this free kick.
Yeah, definitely right. The only issue is, where does he go for it? Does he go towards goal or just outside the penalty spot? The wind will definitely hold it up, so players coming in need to make sure they get on the end of it. Just waiting for the whistle now. Oh, like you said, Steve, it's just that wind factor. It just took a little bit of pace off it. But again, there should have been someone on the end of it as Mikael Platt. And that's going out for a George Cross throw.
Yeah, it really needed to be started out well beyond the back post for it to allow the fact that it was going to swing back in towards the goalkeeper. And maybe it's a case today for, you know, the short, the training set pieces where we can play it on the floor and then drill it in and try and catch the defence off guard, because, yeah, it's going to favour the defences, this fluky breeze. It's just going to see the ball hold up and give them more time to make the clearance. Just as I say that, Marzi could be in. Bullich is roaring out of his goal, and he gets there before Josh Whiteley. That one is going to be right out there on Fox Street. I hope that's not your car out there, Alex.
No, I think the trees just did their work there and just caused it. So good work by the council, ensuring the trees are there. And good work by Bullich. He had to come out there. Josh Whiteley, quite a pacey winger. Getting some more advice from the fans on where to put it. Eggs them on nicely. It's always great to see a bit of banter between fans and players. As Pope, that time all. Chance, and there it is. And it's Hassan Jallo who scores the first goal for George Cross, but more importantly, his first goal for his new club and his 5th of the season.
Well, again, it's the long throw. Pope hooked it back across, and Hassan Jallo remained active the longest. And well, Dinamo would be kicking themselves. They couldn't deal with that long throw better. There'd been a couple of warning lights going off in those sort of situations. But in the end, we're talking about the set-piece opportunities for the free kicks. It's the long throws that are the difficult ones to manage. Dinamo couldn't find the clearance, but Hassan Jallo finding the back of the net. His first goal in the red and white of Caroline Springs, George Cross, and what a time to score it. Best possible start here in this Western Suburbs derby. Mid-season signing is well and truly up and running in the colours of Caroline Springs, George Cross.
Oh,
Here he goes again, Hassan Jallo, growing in confidence. He's going to win the corner kick. As we said, the corner is good, but maybe they're wishing it was another chance for a long throw here instead.
dare I say, the Dinamo Hill probably won't be giving any more advice to the Georgie players after that one. But again, that's a typical striker's goal. You've got to take your chances. In the 6-yard box, he's put it away, and that's why they signed him. As Leo Marzi's now, again, cross comes in, punched away by Bullich. Nick Dibb. His brother also signing for Bentley Green, so I'm sure the Dibb family will be watching that one closely, although they've played each other twice, so they won't probably get that chance to play each other, but I'm sure they've played in the backyard a number of times over the years.
So if you have just joined us, it's Hassan Jallo's goal on 32 minutes that separates the sides. Georgie's looking to do the double over St Albans. As we said back in March, it was goals from Jordan Tucker and Lucas Burns that was too much for a St Albans side that had Nicholas Cook score a first half goal. 2-1 winners to Georgie's. And then it had been 8 years since they'd met in the league. A long, long time going back. Joey Monek was a name on the score sheet when they met in the league, both in 2018 and 2016. They were the last 2 seasons in which they were both in the same competition, which was the old NPL 2.
Well, I'm sure Georgie fans won't want to remember that game they played at Churchill Reserve in 2018. They lost 7-0, so they'll definitely try to put that in the back of their minds.
Well, one of those goals by Joey Monek back then, that 2016 season. Bit of history. That was actually at Chaplin Reserve, so we're going back in time there. That's a collector's item for players who've scored at Chaplin Reserve and are still in the current system playing now.
Just goes to show you Monek's longevity there. He's absolute club champion, all-around great guy, and still plying his trade in the top division and still scoring some ripping goals for his club. And so credit to him on the bench today, so we might get a chance to see him at some times this afternoon.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He got the assist for Josh Golevsky last week. A fine assist it was too, so he's going to play a part off the bench. Talk about these days, you have your starting 11s, you have your finishing 11s. He's definitely going to be in that finishing 11 for Cam Watson. As we're inside 10 minutes until the interval, and it's Georgies who are holding all the aces here. The goal by Hassan Jallo, a likely type. He wins the header there. And here's Marzi. Leo Marzi trying to deceive this Dinamo defence. In the end, it's a nervy clearance, but it finds Levan, but pressure's on him from the speedy Josh Whiteley. Looking to make it 2 goals in 2 matches here. Sutsides just gets it forward very quickly. At full stretch was Martinovic. Pope getting involved, appeals for a handball from Martinovic, and Dinamo will get the free kick. So the momentum has been with Georgies in the last 10 minutes or so, you have to say. Dinamo started the game the better in the first 4 or 5 minutes. They had another good spell, forcing a couple of saves from Christian Siciliano midway through this first half. But it's the visitors who've capitalised on their opportunities. Baluch has had a couple of saves to make himself as well, but there was nothing he could do to prevent Hassan Jello scoring on 32 minutes. So on the live ladder, Georgie's just sitting 2 points outside the top 6.
It's a big couple of weeks for both these sides, Steve. Obviously, you look at it, Dinamo have Avondale away, Hume at here, and then South away. So that's 3 big games. Oh, Maker and Zoutsidis almost tangling there, 2 teammates as Laban and Pope. Laban winning that one. It was a good ball over the top now, but just took a heavy touch there was Cook. Mustafa almost getting gang tackled that time. He gets out of trouble there, Jakub Mustafa, but that time no free kick given, which is interesting there by the referee.
Yeah, eventful phase of play. Lockie Weir coming in to defend against the winger, Jakub Mustafa, who'd also drifted in from that wide position. But that big collision, a bit of friendly fire, as they say in another football code. The 2 central defenders for Georgie's, Zoutsidis and Maker, going toe-to-toe. Livan is striding forward. He's got Golevsky out wide. He's got Benedou to beat. Oh, he goes down. What's the decision here from Momcilo Veselinov? It's going to be a spot kick. So all of a sudden, Dinamo could be finding themselves right back in the mix. Eric Vasiliadis is not happy. He's absolutely blowing up here to our right. But the decision here from referee Momcilo Veselinov is a penalty kick. Josh Golevsky taking on his man, going to ground. It's going to be a lengthy delay, bit of gamesmanship going on. And it was Golevsky receiving it in front of the Dinamo social rooms, looking to skip past his opponent Benedou, and contact was made. So it's going to be the chance here for Dinamo to level things up. And it's Golevsky who's going to try and dust himself off here and make it 2 goals in consecutive weeks. The Chiliano with the mind games. So a good time to score here for Dinamo to level things up. We get close to that half-time interval. It's been a long wait. We get the referee's whistle. Players have been wrestling each other on the edge of the area. And we do get that whistle now for Josh Golevsky, blowing hard past the Chiliano, and we're back to all square at Churchill Reserve. Josh Golevsky makes no mistake, and Siciliano's beaten for the first time this afternoon. 1-1.
Yeah, great penalty taken there from Josh Golevsky. Bit of a hard decision to see from our end here, Steve. It didn't look like there was much involved in that penalty, but the referee had a better view. But Golevsky, that's his 4th goal for the season. More importantly, it's come at a very good time, 5 minutes before half-time. And Eric Vasiliadis is still going. Wants to speak to the referee, but just got to forget about it now. Got to move on with the game. So Dinamo get it back on equal terms now. How does George Cross respond here? Chance for Martinovic. Look to go long. Vasiliadis sends it back. Martinovic sees it go over the line. It really came out of nothing, Steve. It was a bit of probably an opportunity, unlike in Nick Dibb. Just got a little bit of a clip on his way through, and then a bit of a mix-up in the end as a chance for Golevsky. Now he tried to play it through to Cook, but that time just too straight.
Yeah, well, Nicholas Dippy was down on the floor in the lead-up to the goal, and I'm wondering if that's what Eric Vasiliadis is blowing up about. Fancy that might be the case. But yeah, just the value of Dinamo using those players in those wide areas, getting that long diagonal ball out of that heavy, concentrated, high-traffic area. It's a narrow pitch, but getting it out to Golevsky, stretching that Georgie's defence and winning that penalty and the reward to get things back to 1-1. We've really got a game on our hands now. Golevsky took it well. Siciliano waited for him to commit to where he was going to put it, but the penalty was well enough placed and hard enough hit to find that bottom right corner. And Mikael Platt could be looking for even more here as he runs at Michael Soutsides. This is Mikael Platt. Goes to ground Soutsides. Did he get a touch on the ball? It's been given a goal kick, so Momcilo Veselinov felt that it come off Mikael Platt last, perhaps.
Well, I hope Eric Vasiliadis is sponsored by Buttermenthol, but he hasn't stopped since that decision. And I feel like if he'd given a penalty there, I think he probably would have exploded at it. But he's how passionate these coaches are, and we love them for it. That's what they love this game. As Whiteley now, can he get George Cross back ahead? Gets around Martinovic, and it'll be a throw here.
Yeah, we have mentioned Eric Vasiliadis' his temper has been raised on the sidelines. The players will be going inside looking for the halftime orange. He'll be looking for the halftime lozenge. Probably hear that for our effects mic there. Nicholas Dibbs just gone down off the ball again. He's not happy with the treatment he's getting from some of these Dynamo players, including Nicholas Cook.
Laban just clearing that one. Vasiliadis. Marzies just bobbles it up in the air. Anderson cleared, so that time Dibb going forward. Anderson again. Platt coming away with it. Tries to go down a line. That time Mustafa going back to Siciliano. Just got to take his time here. Straight to Laban. And Nui. Good work by Maker. Martinovic and Marzies tangling as Martinovic comes away with it now. Looking to square it. Goes for the cross. Pope. Soutsides clears. And just a nervy couple of minutes here for George Cross, Steve.
Yeah, I think so. They just need to hang on till half time. And just looking over to their technical area, that might unsettle them, seeing Eric has really lost his temper at the situation. I think you could overhear that in the effects mic leading up to the penalty, that he felt that they were given an advantage which was not an advantage, and then that led to the phase of play that created that opportunity for Golevsky going down in the box. Golevsky going down again here. This time the decision goes against him and in favour of the Georgie's right back, Otman Benadou.
So it'll be 2 minutes at a time here, Steve.
Well, not long to go. It's going to be some impassioned team talks, you fancy, when the players get into the dressing rooms in a matter of minutes here. I hope you've enjoyed this first half here from Churchill Reserve on a cool and windy Sunday afternoon. Round 20 of the Senol NPL Victoria. Steve Curtin and Alex Sivkorowski here as Christian Siciliano, the birthday boy of yesterday, sends this one long. Initial header was by McFarlane. Cholina got there first, but he played it straight to Jack Pope. And, well, maybe, just maybe, Georgies can reload here and create a scoring opportunity before the interval. Martinovic picked the pocket of Leo Marzi. Away by Martinovic. Cholina's got to get there first. It might break for Whiteley. Desperate clearance by Anthony Laban. Still he goes, Laban. Throw going the way of Georgies. Whiteley to take. It might be a little bit too far for the long throw here.
Just got to try something in the last couple of minutes here. We've played 1 minute out of the two. Siciliano's going back to Soutsides. Looking to go over the top to Whiteley. Great control there by Whiteley now. Dummies nicely. Cuts back on his right. Squares it to Dibb. Dibb shoots. Oh, he's just stayed wide there. He had a good look at it. Nicholas Dibb.
Yeah, again, really good stuff from Whiteley down this left-hand side. Great first touch. And Nicholas Dibb willing to take on the shot. Players lining up to follow it in if Bulich had to parry that one. But unfortunately for Nicholas Dibb, he just might have slipped his standing leg a fraction there, and it just caused him to slice that shot past the right-hand upright. So that'll do us for the first half, you fancy. Whistle will be poised here for referee Momcilo Veselinov. Just a matter of whether he'll get some further advice from Eric Vasiliadis on the way off the field here. And that is half-time, Alex. So we're locked at 1-1. It was Hassan Jello getting us going after a Georgie's long throw on 32 minutes. And on 41 minutes, Josh Kalevsky winning the penalty, dusting himself off and converting it for a 1-1 score. Hard to say who's had the better of the first half, Alex.
Yeah, you're right, Steve. I think when Georgie scored that goal, they looked a lot better, but then they gave away that penalty, and it just really allowed Dinamo to get back into this game. And you feel like from then on, Dinamo probably just took advantage of that. Eric Vasiliadis still having a friendly chat to the referees, but he just needs to get back into the game, and they need to focus. But yeah, hard to say, Steve. It's pretty 50-50 at the moment. Neither side has had the better of the other, but nevertheless, it's a big 45 minutes coming up for these two sides.
Absolutely right. It's been a derby atmosphere about this one. Maybe not the healthy crowd we might have hoped, but on the pitch, it's been a real slugfest between these two sets of players. At half-time, as the players head down the tunnel, it is St Albans 1, Caroline Springs, George Cross 1. You can join myself, Steve Curtin, and Alex Zivkorowski for the second 45 after this short break at Churchill Reserve.
Hello, people. Hello. I know you're watching this. Do you like this game? Hey, you love penises?
Yeah. Let's welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this round 20 NPL Victoria match between St Albans Saints and the visiting Caroline Springs George Cross. Alex Sivkorovsky and Steve Curtin bring you all the live action. Steve, this round 20 Senol NPL Victoria match has been a pretty entertaining first 45 minutes, 1-1. George Cross got us underway for Rio Angelo, and then Josh Galevsky scoring a penalty.
Yeah, a few moments of class in there, Alex. We welcome our viewers back to the broadcast for the second 45 of this one. Locked at 1-1. The final game of round 20, Senol NPL Victoria men's competition for this afternoon. The lineups are unchanged from the first 45. And it's St Albans in the all blue, and a slip straight away there for Joey Cholina. Trying to take advantage of that was Yagub Mustafa in the number 7 jersey. Another chance for Cholina. Said the pitch looks pretty good on the surface on the broadcast, but when you drill down, we notice as soon as the players are out there warming up pre-match, the pitch cutting up a hell of a lot. So big storm coming through Melbourne around 6:30 last night. The pitch hasn't been used since, but it's very heavy underfoot. But Mikael Platt doesn't mind too much as he tries to get the shot away. It was blocked straight off the boot. Yagub Mustafa, who's been busy, the player who came off the bench last week, getting his chance to start this afternoon and trying to take it with two hands. He'd love a goal to his name this afternoon. Playing off the right flank of the front three.
It was a big moment there, Josh. Mikael Platt cut through, and then Nicholas Cook was waiting for it all on his own, and he didn't get it to him. And you could just sense the frustrations there from Nicholas Cook. He knew that if it just got it to him, he was on his own, one-on-one with Siciliano, and they could have easily taken a lead within the first 20 to 30 seconds of this opening second half. So big missed opportunity there for Dinamo.
Well, they're the moments as well where you've got to be aware of all of your surroundings, and yeah, definitely Nicholas Cook, the top scorer for Dinamo's got every right to feel a bit frustrated. such a good pickup since coming across from Western United, Nicholas Cook. He plays anywhere across the front three, sometimes all of those front three positions in the same game. Lockie Weir's going to make the clearance here. Brother Big Mike, who's recently signed for Avondale, is here among the spectators this afternoon.
Also, Lockie Weir playing against his former side, George Cross, so probably trying to get a one-up over them.
No doubt about it, as the ball's bouncing around, and Hassan Jallo, who scored the only goal that Georgies have to their name this afternoon, was lurking in the 6-yard box. You don't want to give him too much space and time. Plenty of experience, Hassan Jallo. Such a good pickup. An ideal player, the 27-year-old with lots of experience. 4 goals this season with Dandy Thunder before his 5th this afternoon in the colours this time of Caroline Springs George Cross.
I'm sure he's probably not used to this weather, Steve, coming from Sierra Leone. I'm sure he's used to the warmer conditions that what Melbourne brings, especially during this winter breeze we've got currently at the moment.
Well, he has played a bit of football in Iceland, so maybe that will help. Spent a bit of time at a few clubs over there. Grindavik most recently. Remember him from his time over at Altona Magic, another club here in the West. That's a bad turnover from Pope. Opportunity for Platt. Gulevsky straight at Siciliano, right where he would have liked him to shoot there. Siciliano happy to claim that one, and the chance goes begging. On his non-preferred foot there, Josh Gulevsky just didn't have the pace or the placement to test out the Georgie shot stopper. Good header by Weir.
It's another chance, missed opportunity there for Dinamo. 2 chances with an open minutes, but we've got a player down here. Looks like Anthony Laban, I think.
It is Lockie Weir.
Lockie Weir, sorry.
That heading, that Julie won the header. Georgie's fans are finding a bit of voice to our right. So we're right in between it. We've got the travelling fans to our right. They're rugged up in the puffer jackets and the red and black beanies. We've got the Dynamo Hill to our left as this ball is thrown back into play. Lockie Weir's back up on his feet and good to continue. Hassan Jallo. Jack Pope making the run, and getting across was Anderson. Fully committed to the challenge, and he puts it out of play for a Georgie's corner. Right in front of our photographer over there, Mark Avellino in the corner. Opportunity for Vasiliadis to go and take this one.
Funny enough, still, the Hill, no radio today. I was a bit disappointed, looking forward to their tunes that they usually bring in.
Yeah, someone forgot to charge the boombox overnight. It's all Bluetooth supported these days, I think, the sound system at the Hill here on Fox Street.
Just another battle here, referee Momchilo Veselinov, just making sure the players are keeping clear of Marko Bulic.
It's very crowded in that penalty area. St Albans have left Nicholas Cook up on the halfway line. And Nicholas Dibb, it looks like, has stayed back in defence for Georgies, but everyone else is pretty close to the play here. Oh, jeez, Bulic got a fist on that one. And there's a pretty good delivery as well coming in from Vasiliadis there.
That's what they need to do more of, Steve. Keep the pressure on at this end of the field. Don't allow Dinamo to get out. If they can sneak a goal here, and hopefully they don't make a similar mistake as what they did in the first 45. And hopefully they can take advantage of it. As trying to get a ball back. When you can't get one, you get 2. But another chance here for George Cross. We'll have to be a fly on the wall, Steve, at half time in that dressing room.
Maybe there's a behind-the-scenes documentary being filmed about Georgies, perhaps. This one comes in. There's too much on it. As we've seen from that side, some of those crosses have just sailed over the top of the pack of players in front of the goal mouth, and, well, that's harmlessly out of play. The left-footed in-swinger from Ross Vasiliadis a short time ago was an absolute ripper. Marko Bulic had to be really on his toes to punch that one away. But that more recent corner was really just gifting the ball back to St Albans, who can reload here, and they're not going to be allowed to play out short because Georgie's got the full court press on there, right up to the edge of the 18-yard box. So Bullich sends this one long. Again, plenty of advice from the travelling fans as he tried to put his foot through that one. Good to hear the Georgie's fans have found a bit of voice in the second half. I didn't hear them before half-time.
Yeah, both sets of fans a bit quiet today. I'm not sure... just a little bit of fatigue from watching so many sports over the weekend and maybe just running out of voice, but I'm sure a goal will change that. Can I go back all the way to Fletcher McFarlane? Aaron Anderson.
It was a funny phase of play a short time ago. You saw it make it smack the ball almost point-blank range against Yagub Mustafa. Mustafa saying, hey, come on, man.
A little bit of friendly fire. It's been a good battle, that one, Leo Marzis and Martinovic. Neither has got the better of the other. We've seen Josh Whiteley having to switch, and he got quite a good amount of times got through him, but Martinovic has done really well against Leo Marzis. As Whiteley again, right in front of the home fans. There's a lovely ball into the box. It's brought down. Just trying to get it out. There's Mustafa twisting and turning. Gillespie just slowing him down. The cross comes in. It's a good one. It floats in. And the header over by, looks like Zoutsidis that time. Just couldn't keep it down.
Well, that would have been a collector's item for Michael Zoutsidis. He does have 2 goals in the past in NPL Victoria. Does the former Moreland City defender, but he couldn't. Yeah, as you say, he couldn't keep the header down in the breezy conditions there at the back post. He made good position, and now Dinamo are going to try and bring the ball forward through Aaron Anderson, up the line by McFarlane, trying to play over the top of that press from Georgie's. Pope winning the ball back. Pope, dib caught late by Levan, and we're going to see the yellow card for the first time this afternoon from referee Momcilo Veselinov, and it goes the way of St Albans midfielder Anthony Leban, who gets his 6th of the season. He's just freshly back from an accumulation of yellow card suspension last week. St Albans have had a few players missing out with yellow card accumulation suspensions in the last month. Joseph Cholina missed the game at Oakley Cannons, and they also had Aaron Anderson miss out a game the week after that. Plenty of feeling in this derby between these 2 sets of players. Chiliano is going to send this one. It's going to hold up in the breeze. He picks out Whiteley off that big barrel chest. He brought it down. Was he fouled? No. Play on's the call. And a chance for St Albans to counter here through Nicholas Cook. He's got runners left and right. Still he goes, Nicholas Cook. Martinovic hangs up the cross to the back post area. It's all red and white there. And it's out of play for a goal kick across the byline in any case. Not the end line, as we heard from some American commentators during the World Cup.
We won't mention the American commentators, but yeah, that's a big missed opportunity there for Dinamo. They had a flood of players coming forward, and really, Martinovic probably should have done better there. Just having a look, Michael Zoutsidis is just getting up off the ground. He's limping very hard, and they really need him in the lineup here. He's been absolutely instrumental for them this season. Probably been their best player. He's just limping to get back into position. Let's hope it's nothing too serious.
There's no Morgan Filer on the bench,
No.
as was the case last week. We saw Morgan doing some fitness work pre-game, so he's the obvious replacement, but he's not available off the bench today. So hopefully Zoutsidis. He's not looking great though, is he, Zoutsidis there?
Jack Pope now. Oh, he's giving away a poor ball. Anderson just tries to clear it wherever he can. Flicked on nicely here as Dinamo just starting to get on top. Inuit going wide. Gillespie plays it down the line. Well, that time Zoutsidis just using his body against his smaller opponent, but it looks to have recovered. He's got his usual jog happening, so might have been just a slight knock as Bernardo now sends a long ball forward straight to Aaron Anderson. Going forward to Chelina. That's where George Cross need to be a little bit better, Steve. They're just those balls coming in. Maybe don't need to go long all the time. Play it through the middle. You've got good players like Pope or Nui.
Nui could have left that for Golevsky there.
Weir can go again. Out wide to Golevsky. Cuts back into the middle. Josh Golevsky now. 1-2 with Platt. Golevsky, can he lace it out? Good work by Zoutsidis. Whiteley now. Lovely ball down the line, but cut off by Martinovic. Laban. Again, should really just change his direction. He could have had a Nui here on his own, and Zoutsidis wins it back, and Siciliano just sends a long ball, and really I think it's going to get called back, Steve.
Yeah, I think Zoutsidis had his shirt tugged there by Mikael Platt, who's protesting his innocence. Zoutsidis, really good moment there to step out of that defensive line and make that intervention as Josh Golevsky was charging forward. He played the 1-2, Josh Golevsky. It's like one of those training drills, one of those warm-up attacking drills you do where you finished off with a shot. Georgies can't afford to allow Josh Golevsky to run through that central attacking area and play those 1-2s. Here he is on the ball again. But it's been a feature today, both Zoutsidis and Maker stepping out of the defensive line. Maker doing that just now, just to get that extra man in that defensive midfield area and close down some of St Albans' attackers. St Albans really loading that central area too, so it's a smart play and good work by Maker and Zoutsidis in those central defensive positions for Georgies. As Alex said, they just need to be a bit more clinical in the final third. Zoutsidis has made a mistake here just after we've given him a wrap. That's bound to happen. Cook, and now Martinovic. This is Weir driving inside. It's congested in there. He was looking for a Nue. He did have Golevsky wide left. He's still out there, Josh Golevsky. And Nue. Now Golevsky gets the ball on the touchline with the chalk on the boots. He tried to nutmeg Benadou. Benadou was alert to the danger. Oh, the move from Georgies breaks down. Nicholas Dibbs' pass was an errant one. And now Cholina. Anderson. Weir. Good little triangles here for Dinamo. Platt dropping a little deeper to pick up the ball. He drops the shoulder and tries to get past Otman Benadou, who takes him down. It's going to be a free kick to Dinamo in a handy position here in front of those fans who've gathered on the hill to roar on the boys in blue this afternoon.
Yeah, that's just a couple of passages of play there for George Cross. Really just should have taken their time. They gave it away very cheaply. And good on Dinamo. They put the pressure on. They won it back, still attacking. And you can see the difference. Josh Golevsky, as much as we say he likes that central role, he really likes to get it out wide and cut it back into the middle. He's really causing havoc for Benadou there. And really, Georgies need to come up with a different game plan, whether they bring in a substitute or they really just control themselves. There's a chance now for Anthony Laban. Can he find someone on the end of it? He can go short to Lockie Weir. There's Laban. Crosses it into the hot spot there, head of the way. And Nui took a deflection, shouts of handball. Chance! It's a good save that time. Siciliano got down low. Is having a look. Just heavily limping there. Fletcher McFarlane, he gets back into position, but a big let off there by George Cross there. Dinamo really had him pegged back for a good 5 minutes there. And you can just see, Steve, no one's in the middle of the park here that really can really help out the Georgie defenders. And Zoutsidis goes long again, and it's a simple win for Dinamo at the moment.
Yeah, chaotic stuff at times out there, and Dinamo's going to come back again. Nicholas Cook shoulder to shoulder with Maker, who did really well there, and they can go forward now. Dibb with the turn. He'd received it from Marzi. Back to Siciliano, who's just going to try and calm things down. Well, that previous snapshot from the central defender there that came in from Fletcher McFarlane, it forced a good save out of Siciliano at the near post, and it was a tight angle, and we've seen St Albans scoring some spectacular goals through their central defenders. We saw that one from Aaron Anderson where he got himself parallel to the ground out at Jack Edwards for a dramatic equaliser a few rounds ago against the Oakley Cannons. on Friday Night Football in the Senol NPL Victoria, and McFarlane wasn't far away from grabbing his first goal in Dynamo colours in NPL Victoria since making the move across here to Churchill Reserve. There's a chance for Benadoo in a bit of space. Whiteley's drifted out to the right-hand side now. He gets back onto that favoured left foot, and the defensive header's going to hang in the air. Whiteley gets another chance, and he lashes it over the bar. Josh Whiteley.
Again, Whiteley just getting into really good positions that time. Probably just needed to steady himself a little bit. Looking for his second NPL Victoria goal. That time just leaning back and sending it over into the next ground. And again, that's just a little bit better there from George Cross, but Dynamo, again, really defensively, they're really shutting down the wingers here, forcing those long crosses. Zoutsidis cuts it off, going forward. Jallo, lovely work out wide. Mustafa, as the cross comes in, it's a good one, no one there. Whiteley! He's claiming it's crossed the line. Fourth, the official here. Chance again, it's Benadoo! And Benadoo absolutely puts it in the back of the net. What a finish there from Otman Benadoo. Georges lead 2-1.
Incredible stuff. We saw in the Georges game last week, both goals were deflected efforts from distance, and this we've seen it again. Otman Benadoo, it's the Georges right back who's stepped up and he bought a ticket and he's won the prize in the raffle there, has the fullback. He hit it with plenty of venom. It's come off one of his opponents and it's flown past Marko Bulic, and all of a sudden, after they've been under a lot of pressure at the other end of the park, through their fullback, they find themselves in front here. Caroline Springs, George Cross, and Otman Benadoo. He scored once in the Doherty Cup this season. He's now got a goal in the league to go with it. And hats off to him for taking on the shot. The 27-year-old is on the board, and Georgies are back in front.
Yeah, it's a long time for Otti. He's had a rough season last season. He had a big knee injury. He's come back slowly back into the team. Georges will be with a player down. I think Maker has come off. I didn't quite see what occurred. He's getting his hand bandaged, I think, or something like that, as back into play here. Force for Lockie Weir. Georges will be a player down, brought down by Platt, out wide. Whiteley. Oh, to poor clearance, Galevsky. And Siciliano that time gets it under control. As the away fans started to get their voice here at Churchill Reserve. Can they take advantage of it now? As you'd see, this switches to the right-hand side. It just couldn't get it under control. There was Josh Whiteley. And Nui flicks it on, but Gillespie was making the run forward. As Maker does have his hand bandaged, the right one. McFarlane gets an up and under. Dib practically taking his shirt off. They've really targeted Dib today, Steve. I've noticed he's been in the thick of it and finally getting some calls going his way.
He's got the call this time. Yeah, they have been going after him when he's in possession. There's just so little time as well when you're on the ball in the middle of the park here. They're going to take their time over this restart. So Georges, who got the ball rolling through Hassan Jello on 32 minutes, pegged back to 1-1 on 41 minutes through that Galevsky penalty. On 64 minutes, they lead again, and maybe even more here, as this one's going to hang in the breeze. And Bulic lets that one go. They were centimetres away from going ahead, just seconds, or fraction of a second before that goal flew in from Otman Benadoo, deflecting off Aaron Anderson, going in. Whiteley had his effort saved right on the goal line by Marko Bulic. The assistant referee to our right, really, really well placed to have a good look at it. And he informed Momcilo Veselinov in the middle that it hadn't crossed the line. Play on was the call, but Otman Benadoo, he didn't stand there and appeal for the decision. He just kept on going. He buried the shot with the help of that deflection off Aaron Anderson. So 2-1 here And Georgies are back within 2 points of 6th place South Melbourne on the live ladder once again for the second time this afternoon.
It's been called offside, but not sure how when McFarlane was the one that headed it away. So play continues as Weir playing it down the line. Inui, Gillespie into the middle. Laban can go wide to Martinovic. Just spreading the field here. Dinamo. Go wide to McFarlane. Weir. Inui on the hill. Cuts back in. It's a good cross in. It's low. Zoutsidis clears. You can hear Eric Vasiliadis just getting his charges to get out. Ensure they're not too close to goal. As Dinamo push forward. Zoutsidis not taking any chances as that one goes into the VIP car park there behind the stand.
How do you get a spot in that car park, Ellie?
Not sure, Steve. You might have to ask the president, Ilya Dragicevic, who is a former player of George Cross. So a lot of those watching at home who've been watching George Cross for a long time will remember Ilya in his days. His son obviously played here as well and now applying his trade in Melbourne Victory.
Good footballing family, the Dragicevic's. And Nicholas Div, you mentioned he's been targeted. He's down again. He's been clipped on that left ankle. So play on's the call. Dinamo's going to keep coming. Leban over the top. And that one's going to run harmlessly through to Siciliano. It was a good phase by St Albans in that previous attack. We saw at Sushi Inui, who's been playing through the middle. He drifted out to the left flank and found a bit of space and got that cross in nice and early, and it just caused a bit of constellation in that penalty area there as far as Georgies were concerned. They were able to deny Mikael Platt applying a lethal finish, but still it's that good quick ball early into the box in these sorts of occasions where it's a small pitch, there's not a lot of space. Smart play by Sushi Inui, and they're going to need it because they're going to need to come up with something special here. You fancy Dinamo to get a share of the points in this one on their home patch. This is Levan. Martinovic looks to send it over the top, and Maker was in two minds. Benadou, the most recent goal scorer, is going to get back and send this one up the line ahead of the oncoming Nicholas Cook. So Lockie Weir to take the throw. Looking for movement ahead of him. Cholina.
No subs as yet, Steve. Almost hitting the 70th minute mark now, and both teams still with the same starting 11, although I can see Justin Spiteri and also Aidan Mustadanagic coming close to us as Dinamo go forward and Siciliano grabs that one. See whether Dinamo also make a sub here.
Well, interesting last week as well. Cam Watson just made the one sub, bring on Jerome Sharan in the 1-1 out at Olympic Village. So yeah, a little bit of shades of Chris Taylor there in some of Cam Watson's tactics at the moment. And that's the strength of St Albans, George Cross as well, getting those extra signings coming in the window. It gives them more depth on the bench, and players like Spiteri and Aidan Mustadanagic, players that can come on and add depth that would have been in the starting 11 at other times in the year. Nicholas Dibb looks like his race has run.
That's probably a good decision there. He's definitely been targeted as Nicholas Dibb. It's done well for Georgies. So also coming off, looks like Fletcher McFarlane and Joseph Monet. And Musa Danagic will come off. And I dare say it's Jakub Mustafa that's coming off, Steve. I can't quite see who the other player or number was.
Yeah, Jakub Mustafa, I can see him. He's gone off the pitch there. He's just standing in the corner near the players' race. Here's the touch for the substitute, Monek. Inui couldn't find him for the 1-2 pass. Monek gets another chance here. He said he scored goals against Georgies back in 2018 and 2016 in the old NPL2. Leban. Cholina in the wide left area now. He's got Inui in support. Plenty of numbers back in red and white shirts. But Monek finds a way through. He Hangs up the cross to the back post. It's away by Vasiliadis, only as far as Martinovic. So Lockie Weir has moved into a central defensive position with McFarlane going off. Joey Monek lining up as the left back, and it's a good attacking option to go with the guy that can play in your front four as a fullback and try and get extra numbers forward and extra quality on those early balls into the box. This one's over the top. Lockie Weir should get there first, and in fact he lets it run all the way through to Marco Bellucci. Picked that one up right on the edge of the paint there on the edge of the 18-yard box. Using all of his area there was the St Albans custodian. And here's Anue. I think he was looking for Cholina there, but it might break eventually for Mikael Platt, who picked the pocket of Maker, and there's acres of space on the far side in front of the boutique grandstand here for Michael Martinovic. Gets the ball in. Nicholas Cook was the target. It was away by Sutsides, and is Laban. Monek, the fresh legs. Can he find space for the shot? Good defensive work by George. He's getting numbers back. Laban's pass was a clever one. Anue put the ball into the box after receiving it from Monek. Couldn't find anyone in the target. So the crosses for Dinamo not really hitting the targets in the penalty area at the moment, Alex.
Yeah, they're just struggling with that win. We mentioned that George Cross struggled in the first half, but they've got another chance here. Laban, bounces right in front of Siciliano. You had to force it out for a goal, for a corner there.
Yeah, good hit, Laban there. That opened up for him. He can hit them from distance. Technique was pretty good from Siciliano as well. To get down low, it bounced at an awkward position in front of him, and to turn it away from any oncoming attackers. And happy to concede the corner.
Lockie Weir now comes across. Can he find something here? Just over 17 minutes remain here. Churchill reserve. George Cross leading 2-1. Cross comes in into the hot spot. Oh, it's off the crossbar. And it's gone in the back of the net. It's going to be Gillespie who's claiming it. And just like that, we're back at 2-2.
Oh, it's madness here at Churchill Reserve. Aaron Anderson's attempt clattered back off the bar, but St Albans kept alert to the opportunity. Josh Gillespie scores for the second time in as many matches, and the second time this afternoon, should I say, as well. Scored from the spot kick in the first half. Scored last week, of course, at Olympic Village, and he scores again in a penalty area scramble, and we're back to 2-2.
That's smart of Gillespie. He just made it bounce through a sea of players. Siciliano could not see that at all, but again, it's just trying to clear it. George Cross struggled in that pack, and that's where Dinamo get you. They like to put it in the mixer and just cause havoc, and Gillespie gets his 5th goal of the season. He's on track to get a hat-trick today. Is there another twist to this game in his final game of round 20 Senol NPL Victoria match? George Cross did well to take the lead, but again, it's poor defensive work has caused him as Peters. He's doing really well. Mikael Platt is worked hard. He's really bullying the defenders there. He just uses his size advantage, and they just have no answers for him, Steve.
Yeah, that's what he brings to that attacking line. There could be more here as Laban is striding forward. Sutsides put the shoulder into Anthony Laban. Oh, free kick going the way of Josh Whiteley, and it was a timely one as far as Georgies are concerned, because you just feel like they're under siege at the moment. Copped an absolute battering. That Lockie Weir corner was an absolute ripper, and Aaron Anderson was unlucky not to score. His header just cannoned off the crossbar, and it was the underside of the crossbar too, because it bounced down. That last phase of play, chaos in the box, and it was Josh Gillespie smashing it through a sea of bodies. Sat up nicely on his preferred right boot. They're the kind of ones that usually see blocked off the boot or off the line or something like that, but it found its way through, and probably on the balance of play, it's a fair call that we're back to level. 2-2. Josh Gillespie's 74th minute goal, his second of the afternoon. Cancelling out that most recent goal, a deflected effort by Ottman Benadou that came off Aaron Anderson and flew past Marco Bulic. They are the 2 second-half goals. After Hassan Jello had opened the scoring in the first half, Galevsky scoring that penalty late in the first half, should I say. Here's Whiteley. Martinovic was fully committed. Whiteley felt all of that challenge. And Martinovic, who is on 4 yellow cards, might be getting a week off next week, or will he?
He's very lucky there. He's been given the right of way in that challenge. So he's got to be on his best behaviour. They definitely need him next week. Musa Danagic back into the chance there as Pope was coming in, but was just a second too slow. And could we see a frenetic finish here in the last game in Churchill Reserve?
Yeah, Aiden Mustardanagic, he just made it look like he had so much time there the way he took that shot, and it was bouncing. It really got a lot of power on it, but it was off target, going across the face of the goal.
Bulic brings it back into play. Flat the target, and he wins that header. Bernardo got a lucky touch. They go back to Zoutsidis. Well, they go backward now. Marzis, Spiteri. Good work there from Joey Monet. Just slicing that one out to stop the players. Bernardo quickly takes it. Georgia's looked to go forward now. They need to attack at all costs. Dinamo now turn their attention to defence.
Well, these Georgies fans to our right are trying to roar on their charges in red and white towards what would be a match-winning goal as Mustardanagic sent that one into the box. It's going to be a repeat throw in front of the new big digital scoreboard down there. In it comes from Mustardanagic. Was there a shove on Joey Monek? Play on's the call. Anue with the clearance. So it's Georgies who are playing with the advantage of the breeze more so in this second half. And you can see there from Anue's clearance, just holding up in the wind, not with a lot of distance on it. Long throw from Whiteley with the breeze behind his back. Here's the substitute, Spiteri. Out wide, he can find the other man who's come off the bench, Mustardanagic. Scrambled away by Lockie Weir, and he finds Nicholas Cook, who can run at Vasiliadis here. Nicholas Cook, he's got Mikael Platt forward, and he tries to pick out Platt. Oh, and it just pitched and span and kicked away and down the slope in front of the hill. As Mikael Platt gave chase. Bit of a conference going on between those two players now. Conference, perhaps a post-mortem. Not happy with the way that counter-attack played out with the Dinamo attackers, and that's probably fair enough.
Yeah, big missed opportunity there for Dinamo. Platt was on his way, but again, it's that wind that's just causing havoc. It's Anderson, he's caught in two minds, goes back to Martinovic, looks up the line, Zoutsidis. Laban just cutting that one off, needed to attack the ball first there. Georgie, the cross comes in, got to be careful here. Bernardo, Galevsky, and it's going to be a Dinamo throw here as Joey Monet quickly taken. Dinamo sensing maybe they can get a winner here. Monet crosses it into Platt. Lovely touch. Galevsky over the top, but Cook wasn't running on the end of it.
Galevsky and Platt combining well on the edge of the area. Just needed that extra ball to find Cook or someone at the back post. Looks like Josh Whiteley wants to come off. He's worked very hard, especially in the last 10 minutes or 15 minutes where he's had to work back defensively, getting back to cover, but making those forward runs down the left flank. Very explosive player.
Yeah, chance looks like Luke Lofts is going to come on for Whiteley, so might be a good time to bring him on, Luke Lofts.
Pretty handy player to have coming on off the bench. He's played as their number 10 most of the season, has Luke Lofts. He's featured in all 19 games prior to today as well, so making appearance number 20 in round 20 is Luke Lofts. The only other Georgies player to feature in all games so far, Maker. Oh, should I say, and also Leo Marzi.
Just the one change from Dinamo, so happy with what they see out there. Cam Watson and his side as Georgies make the 3. Maker now. Goes short to Bernardo. Takes on Galevsky. It's going to go in the way of George Cross here. Quickly taken. Just bobbled in the air. Loss. Good work there. Chelina almost catches a piggyback ride now. Galevsky cuts back in. Lovely ball into Chelina, but Zoutsidis composed. They go wide. Marzi's. Oh, he gets around finally, Martinovic, but a tug of the shirt. And that's going to be a yellow card for Michael Martinovic.
Well, Martinovic will have to count himself lucky that he wasn't shown the yellow card for that challenge about 5 minutes ago, which allowed him to do the professional foul there, right in front of the players' race in the Dinamo social rooms. Because Leo Marzi was off to the races there.
First time he's probably beaten him this afternoon. Now, this is a very, very big moment here, Steve. In a very good position now. They've got the wind behind them, so can they find someone on the end of it? This could be the moment where Georgies can take the lead. As everyone waits patiently for the whistle. Cross comes in. Oh, it's a poor cross. Spiteri. Good work by Vasiliadis. Spiteri followed up. Good work from Pope, but to no avail as Laban now going forward for Dinamo. Plays it into Cook. Dinamo now really trying to find some space here as Monet plays it down the line to Nui. Good 1-2 play. Monet skips past the challenge there. Referee says play on. I'm not sure what your thoughts are on that one, Steve.
Well, fair to say the Hill to our left wasn't too happy with the play on call. Joey Monic back up onto his feet. I just feel like there's another goal in this game in the remaining time we have. Just over 5 minutes plus added time. Some real dark storm clouds coming over our left shoulder here, Alex, as well. So I think we might get a damp finish to this one. Spectators will be reaching for their umbrellas in just a moment. But for the moment, it's the defences from both sides who need to be without fault. Both sides really looking to get the ball into areas in the front 3, bypassing the midfield areas, just switching it into attack. Almost copying each other's tactical handbook this afternoon. Here's Monek. There's a bit of space for him. He's got Mustadanagic to beat. Jack Pope across to close down the passing lanes. Here's Anui. Lockie Weir, who's shifted into central defence alongside Aaron Anderson, who has the ball now. Out wide is Michael Martinovic, who will miss that game against Avondale with yellow card accumulation next week, so we might as well leave it all out there today. So locked at 2-2 this afternoon. Sunday afternoon football. It's wild and woolly in Melbourne's West in this derby match between Dinamo and Georgies. Plenty at stake here for these sides. It's twice Georgies have led. Twice they've been pegged back to level pegging. If Georgies can find that late goal, they will go within 2 points of the top 6. A fantastic achievement for the promoted side after 20 rounds of the season.
Well, Cam Watson wants Ajak Du to come over, but I don't think you can hear him.
Can't hear him over the Georgies fans who are roaring there. Back flick from Sutsides. It nearly broke for Lofts. Can they counter here? At full stretch, Mikael Platt couldn't bring it under control in that slippery centre circle. Siciliano's got time to assess, and there's plenty of players that have just stayed up high looking for that long ball from Siciliano. He elects against it, and now it is driven forward by Spiteri, but he's picked out Marco Bulic, so just kicking the ball back to each other, these teams at the moment.
Yeah, just need to be a little bit better with their decision-making in this final couple of minutes here. If it stays this way, Steve, it will be George Cross's 9th draw for the year. I think they'll be more disappointed that taking the lead twice and they, somehow allowed Dinamo to get back into this game. As Luke's loss have been judged to give away a foul there.
Yeah, they've really become the draw specialists. It'll be back-to-back draws for each side if it does stay like this. And we have got that change coming through, so it looks like Ajak Dayu is ready to go, and Martinovic, who said he'll get the week off next week with yellow card accumulation, is being replaced. So Ajak Dayu, who usually likes to play as a central defender, he's going to line up as the right back, which may be his position next Saturday afternoon against Avondale as well. Sviteri's header finds Pope. Inouye was fully combative. Judged to have given away a free. Not sure if Dinamo's too happy with that decision, but it's another chance for Georgies to send the tall timber forward. Vasiliadis with that cultured left foot to swing this one in, Alex.
Yeah, he's got to take advantage of it now. Georgies have to get something here. Their hopes of playing finals football hangs in the balance. Jallo just couldn't get the connection he wanted. It's going to be a goal kick. So their next couple games, they've got obviously Melbourne City at home, then Heidelberg away, and then Altona. So you feel like if they can get a result here today, it'll definitely put them 2 points behind South Melbourne. But Dinamo are holding on. And Adu now brings it in. Danagic sends it down the line, and it's gone out. Eric Vasiliadis is just pushing his charges forward, wants to keep the press up high, not allow Dinamo to get out so easily. We've got 90 seconds left before we go into stoppage time here at Churchill Reserve in his round 20 Senol NPL Victoria matches. That one coming off Mikael Platt.
Yeah, it's good coaching from Eric Vasiliadis to keep the pressure on, keep the press high. Don't allow St Albans that space to dwell on the ball and play it forward. But they found a gap here. Joey Chiney can play it out wide to the fresh legs of Ajak Dayu. Gets the ball in early. Sutsides read the cross. Gets it away for the second time of asking. Vasiliadis is trying to get it out of play. It's refusing to cross the line. So we're still in position here, Anderson. And we've got confirmation from our fourth official, Noah Langerak. It will be an additional 5 minutes at the end of the 90 for these sides to try and find that late winner. Spiteri's diagonal, trying to pierce the defence, but he couldn't pick out the fresh legs of Aiden Mustadanagic. Rain is starting to fall here. We gave you the warning, it's coming across. It's looking very dark, the sky to our left. But will one of these sides be dancing in the rain at full time, Alex? That is the question.
Well, Dinamo wanted closer to the corner flag. Laban, Bernardo just sends it forward. Bulic outside his box. Wants to go long again. They're targeting this left-hand side. Galevsky. Inouye. Laban. Weir. Driving forward now, Dinamo. Lovely ball out. Monet puts it into the box, headed away. Spiteri. Again, just need to go short to Lofts. Dinamo pushing forward. Good work by Laban, using his strength. Chance for Platt now. Oh, good work by Maker. Zutsidis coming away with it now. Ajak Du gets it under control as Jello chasing him down now. Good run here from Ajak. Still going forward. Gillespie switching to the right-hand side. And it's going to be a corner, Steve, in a very, very, very good position for Dinamo.
Well, this was how they created their previous goal, Dinamo. The in-swinger from Lockie Weir, who's going to go over and take this one. And Hassan Jallo, the striker who's tracked all the way back to the corner there in the defensive third, has just about cooked himself, you fancy. He has got his name on the score sheet, but despite that, it hasn't really felt like his day, Alex. He hasn't had that space to run in behind with St Albans having that deeper lying defence, and on a smaller pitch, it's probably not his ideal set of circumstances for the striker today. Yeah, and the delivery hasn't been there either, Steve, so that's, as a striker, you want that delivery to you, and he, like you said, he's worked hard, he's ran himself to the ground there. He started off where Bullich is now, all the way back to almost left back, so you can't fault him for his efforts. But again, it's like you said, it's smaller pitch, more compact. Dinamo know how to play this ground so well, and they're just doing everything right. So they'll be down a player unless they make a sub. Looks like Jordan Tucker's going to come on. So Jordan Tucker on and Hassan Jallo will come off. So they've got to get out of this situation now here. Can Dinamo find a late goal here as the rain comes down? It's a cross into the near post. Maker cleared by Lofts. Monet still last man standing. They go wide again. Cross comes in. Pope shouts of handball, and that's going to be a yellow card there. Ajak Du. Professional foul there, Steve. Just making sure it doesn't allow Georgie to get out. He knew what he was doing there. Ajak Du happy to take the yellow card. Not too long to go now. Just that added 5 minutes, and we've almost reached the end of that allotted time. Will be at the discretion of referee Momsilo Veselinov. Musta Danagic had his shot blocked by Monek. Mikael Platt can't keep this one in. It's off the light tower and down towards the gum trees that line Fox Street here at Churchill Reserve. Ball in by Tucker. It was a dangerous one too. Aaron Anderson was down on all fours with a defensive header, and perhaps St Albans can break here, turning defence into attack. It's Mikael Platt, puts it out in front of Nicholas Cook, running it Vasiliadis. It's Nicholas Cook. He's had a quiet day by his standards. He finds Ajak Du, the substitute, who's got forward from right back, and he goes to ground. No foul. So the momentum swings continue here from one end to the other. Here's Leo Marzi. Tucker sliding in was Weir. He says, I got the ball, thank you very much. Throw in going the way of Georgie's.
Yeah, good tackle there in the end. Jordan Tucker playing usually as a right back. Had to go forward, so
he's a makeshift striker.
You've got to sell it a little bit more. The forward would have sold it a little bit more, but another chance here. Musa Danagic now. Can he get it into the box and cause a bit of chaos? He goes long, flicked on by Tucker, cleared by Gillespie. Cook now. Laban pulls it out wide, but Mikael Platt just doesn't have enough legs in him.
Oh, he's just ran out of gas there, hasn't he?
Is there time left for Georges to sum up one more attack? Oh, good work from Cook. They're doing everything right here. Monet, high ball. Spiteri won the header. Cook again. Laban, lovely work from Laban. Chelina. They get out of trouble. Dinamo pushing. Can they find an equaliser here to steal it right at the end? And they've run out of time here in this round 20 Senol NPLM Victoria match. It's Dinamo 2, George Cross 2. And both teams, Steve, probably won't be too happy with that result in the end.
Well, a gruelling encounter, and from Georgie's point of view, they took the lead twice. They got pegged back twice, so they'll feel a bit aggrieved. From St Albans' point of view as well, they had some really good swings of momentum going their way. They eventually levelled things up. They kept on pressing. They had a few counter-attacking opportunities, but they couldn't really challenge the goalkeeper, Christian Siciliano, for a late winner as much as they would have liked to. They've got some potency in that front four with Nicholas Cook, Mikael Platt, Josh Galevsky, supported by Ashton Inoue, Atsushi Inoue, who'd played as a attacking midfielder today as well, but they couldn't find the key to unlock that stubborn Georgie's defence. And Maker is one of those players who looks absolutely spent out there. He was knocked to the floor in that very last phase of play, looking for a foul. It didn't come. He's got his hand bandaged up. Sutsides as well was walking wounded as well. He was down injured too. So a bruising encounter on a windy day that's ended in a rain shower at full time on a heavy track here. Nicholas Cook as well, special mention to him, saying he didn't really have his best game of the season in an attacking sense, but he was pressing and working hard and closing down players in that very final few seconds. And it could, who knows, it could have created something there for St Albans as the Dynamo players offer a round of applause to the fans gathered on the hill to our left. Georgie's doing likewise to the travelling contingent. They've made noise in the second half, adding plenty of atmosphere. But I think you're right, Alex, in that, yes, neither side will be happy with the point, but it's probably, for me, a fitting result, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, neither side took advantage of it. George Cross had the lead twice and coughed it up twice, and they'll be disappointed. This was a big chance for them to be 2 points just outside the top six. And in the first year back in the top tier Victorian football. But again, it's a learning curve. It's a ninth draw. No, Eric will be disappointed with that. But like you said many times throughout the year, there's no easy games when you're playing in the top tier. Every game is hard, and Dynamo just proved it today. They are so hard to beat on this ground, and they really make you work. As you can see, a lot of the players at the end were really cooked. They had nothing left, and that just goes to show you how hard you have to work here. And if you don't put away your chances, you don't get the result.
That's right. We talk about no easy games for St Albans. They've got Avondale, Hume and South Melbourne in the next three. So 3 of the top 6, 3 tricky games. But they'll finish playing the bottom 3. They'll play Bentley Greens, Green Gully and Dandenong Thunder in the last 3. So that'll be something that they can at least, if they've got to battle through the next 3 weeks, maybe not picking up too many points, they've got that to finish the season with. Caroline Springs, George Cross though, Melbourne City, Heidelberg and Altona Magic. There's still the chance there. If they can pick up some points, they can still press for that top 6.
Yeah, absolutely. But today was the start of that. But, hey, that's the way you got to learn. But thank you so much to everyone that's tuned in today. Round 20 has wrapped up. Next week is round 21. So we've only got 5 more games to go before the season wraps up and we start playing finals football. On behalf of the team here, Steve Curtin and myself, Alex Sifkorowski, thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of the week and we'll see you all Friday night